As a new round of talks aimed at reaching a ceasefire deal are set to begin in Egypt, Israel has recovered the body of another hostage. The Israeli army said this Saturday that they brought back the body of Elad Katzir in an overnight raid on the southern city of Han Yunis. Well, that comes as American and Israeli negotiators are meeting in Cairo, with Hamas saying its delegation will travel there on Sunday. The latest talks come as Israel is under increasing pressure from its American allies after the deadly strike on aid workers earlier this week. For more, we can cross now to Jerusalem and speak to our chief foreign editor, Robert Parsons. Rob, this latest round of talks comes after what's been a pretty big week of developments, and with the war set to hit that 6th-month mark, any reason to hope that these talks might finally lead to a deal?
Well, I suppose in the sense that there's a lot of pressure being applied on both Hamas and on Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. In that sense, yes, I think perhaps there is a little bit more hope than we might have expected just a week or so ago. There's no doubt that the whole incident with World Central Kitchen has led to the United States upping its pressure on Netanyahu and his government. Joe Biden has said he wants an immediate ceasefire. Benjamin Netanyahu understands that very well. The problem, of course, is that up until now, the demands being made by Hamas, the withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza Strip, the return of all the inhabitants from the northern part of the Gaza Strip to that part of the Gaza Strip, and an end to the conflict. In other words, a full ceasefire. Those are terms which have been completely unacceptable so far to the Israelis and remain unacceptable. At the same time, though, the United States is using Qatar and Egypt, who've been the mediators in this conflict, to try and put pressure on Hamas from their end. And it's interesting, I think, that Hamas are sending a representative on Sunday to Cairo at the invitation of the Egyptian government. It does suggest perhaps that something is beginning to move, that maybe a short-term ceasefire is a possibility, with linking that to the release of hostages in return for freedom for Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli prisons.
And meanwhile, Israel has admitted it made grave mistakes and dismissed 2 officers over that strike on the World Central Kitchen aid workers. The charity, though, wants an independent investigation, and many are calling for Israel to release its full report. What are the latest developments and reactions you've been hearing?
Well, it's quite clear that World Central Kitchen is not satisfied with the response of the Israeli authorities. I'm sure it's happy that a report has been published, but I don't think it's happy that the conclusion is that this was simply human error on the part of 2 officers on the ground in the Gaza Strip. I think World Central Kitchen is of the opinion, held by many people, including, it would seem, the United Nations, that there is systemic error at fault here. There's much more to it than just a couple of men making errors, that there is something wrong with the procedures that the Israelis are using, that the fact that 196 aid workers have been killed in the Gaza Strip since the start of the conflict is indicative that there's something much more serious in play here. And there is also the fact that many of the reasons given by the Israeli authorities, at least for World Central Kitchen and outside observers, don't sufficiently add up to explain what happened.
All right, Rob, thank you so much for those updates. Again, that's our chief foreign editor, Rob Parsons, reporting there from Jerusalem.